Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to 9 Vibes, the very first interactive slide. It's going to be on the playground. It's a video, it's a slideshow that I did just recently where it explains the different characters that you find in the real world and applies them to the different characters that you would find on a playground from a kid's perspective. All right, so I had a lot of people who asked me to elaborate and to go into depth on some of these characters, so I thought what I would do is just do a live slideshow video and go from there. All right, so here we go. The playground, where profound truths are found. The metaphor behind this is that when children go outside to play in the backyard, it doesn't really concern you whether or not they play tag, ball, or swing. You only care about their safety, and when they're in the backyard, they are most safe. Now, using that metaphor, here's what predestined, duality, alchemy, religion, spirituality, empathy, enlightenment, and unity look like on a playground. Predestined. The games the kids choose to play were created long before the kids started playing them. The children can choose to select a game that exists and has rules, or create a new one but risk an unpredictable experience. All right, so what that is actually saying is, it's saying that in this world and on a playground, that there are many different paths that you can take. But everything that is before you was created by somebody else, which means that they created it with their own guidelines, their own rules, and their own outcome. Okay? Follow A, B, and C, and you should get D. And so the idea is that if you're going to take somebody else's path, if you're going to follow someone else's path, that there are guidelines and there are rules. And you can expand a little bit here and there, but you can't really get off of the path. Okay? So a perfect example of that would be, you cannot be a free-loving oneness, God is me, and Jesus didn't exist as a man person, and join a Christian church that does not believe that. You're going to run into problems because they have their rules and they have their regulations and they have their guidelines, and so that won't work. You'll end up with a completely different outcome. So if you decide that you want to create your own experience, then you risk an unpredictable outcome. You risk an unpredictable experience. No one's done it before. And so you don't know. And so that's one of the reasons why people stay on the beaten path, is because at least they know where it's going to take them. The ones who decide to create their own experiences end up in situations where they end up in uncharted water, places they've never been before. All right, duality. I love talking about duality. All right. On a playground, you can play tag, but without another to play tag with, it's not much of a game. All right. If you are to be the tagger, there must be someone to tag, or else it's just a great concept. For anything to exist, it must have something to compare its existence to. And what that is telling you is, it's telling you that if you want to play a specific game and it takes two, you need two. Okay? Life needs two. For you to actually experience, you need two. So for you to play tag, you need somebody that you're also going to tag. Okay, for you to play cops and robbers, you need somebody who also can be one or the other. All right, for anything to exist, it must have something to compare its existence to. And that is why by yourself, you are everything. And I want you to believe that. By yourself, you are everything. You are amazing. You are awesome. You are courageous. You are kind. You are loving. But without another, you are no thing. And what that's saying is, it's saying that you can think that you are all of these things, and that is a fantastic place to be. But unless you experience these things, they are just concepts. They are just wonderful ideas. All right? You can think that you are kind, but if you have never shown an act of kindness, you are not kind. In an experiential way, that you are not kind. Okay? So by yourself, you are everything, but without another, you are no thing. Alchemy is one of my favorite things to talk about, because this will be me on a playground, discovering that mixing dry dirt and water makes mud, and mud will buy you hours of fun. Okay, so what that's saying is, it's saying that the alchemists, or the kids that would be on the playground that are alchemists, are the ones that are mixing colors to create new colors, are the ones that are creating glue and an element to create something stronger. They're the ones that understand that the world and its elements are alive. They are not just dead things that are on the ground. And so therefore, because they are alive, mixing them together, combining them together, integrating them together creates new things. And that's the only place that you're going to find newness. Everything that you will ever need is already here. And an alchemist knows that. You just have to figure out the different combinations. All right, religion. These kids, religion, creating a system of order controlled by fear. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. Creating a system of order controlled by fear. That is the definition of a religion. It is creating a system of order. And the bottom line is it is controlled by fear. Whether or not they want to leave that part out or not is up to them. But when you're talking about hell, when you're talking about fear, when you're talking about sin, those are things of fear. Okay, so creating a system of order controlled by fear. And a great example of that on a kid's playground would be a kid who said, or would be one of those kids who say, donate your Rice Krispie treat and feel better about pushing that kid last week. These kids have the best of intentions, but they are the most judgmental. They think that what game you choose actually matters the type of dessert that you get. So in their mind, if they resist the wrong games, if they get more kids to play the games that they think are right, the more dessert that they'll get over everybody else. And see, the problem is the spoiler is everybody gets the same dessert. Everybody gets the same dessert. All right. This is a message that I talk about quite often when I get into the spiritual side of 9 Vibes. What you believe is what you will experience when you die. That's the whole point. Your heaven is your heaven and your hell is your hell. And so if you believe that you're going to see your loved ones and experience that, perfect. That's what you're going to experience. If you believe that it's just darkness and death, that's what you're going to experience. If you think that it is cosmic and there's colors everywhere and dimensions, that's what you're going to experience. Okay? If you think that what you went through here was an audition for your afterlife and you think that you're going to experience suffering or hell, that's what you'll experience. And here is the key that unlocks the reality to all of this. You only are going to experience what you think you're going to experience when you die until you change your mind. You see, because in the 3D world, you have matter. And matter is the thing that makes it difficult to do things. It's the thing that steps in your way from what you truly want, what you truly desire is matter. And in the thought world, in the spiritual world, after the 3D world, wherever that happens to be, matter does not exist. Therefore, all you have to do is change your mind about something. All right? You will experience whatever you believe in. But even if it is the scariest or you just can't get past that point, you will only experience it until you change your mind. Because in the non-physical, there is no matter. Nothing stands in your way. All right. Spirituality. These are the kids who have zero desire for games or a system. All right. They just want to be left alone. They just want to search for what makes them happy. They have had so many different desserts and played so many different games that they just enjoy exploring them all as long as it keeps them happy. And that pretty much sums it up. Whether you're talking about cards, whether you're talking about crystals, whether you're talking about a spiritual path, any of those that you're going, the ultimate goal is that you're looking to be happy. You're looking for something. And so you explore all these areas that were off the path. Maybe you started on a specific path and now you've done it enough that you just have zero desire for the games or the system. All right? And that's what spirituality is. Spirituality is the opposite. Spirituality is chaos. Spirituality is beauty, and spirituality is love. Religion holds tight. Spirituality lets go. All right. Empaths. These are the kids on the playground who got injured the most. Okay? I'm going to say that one more time. These are the kids on the playground who got hurt the most. They spend most of their days warning kids of the dangers of playing. They are the most understanding when someone gets hurt, but the quickest to walk away if you don't listen to them. And the reason for that is because these kids do not understand how they became empaths. They became empaths because they were hurt the most. Abusive relationships, abusive families, abusive friendships. These are hurtful situations. And in those moments, you gained a gift. You gained the ability to now understand what suffering is like without actually going through it for another person. You went through it for yourself, and so you can look at other people and recognize within them what it was like to go through that. And so you desire to help them. And if they don't listen to you, then you walk away from them. You call them toxic. You call them narcissist. You label them something so that you can separate yourself from them. And I understand that because you can't help everybody. But it's the labeling them as narcissists, it's the labeling them as toxic that actually labels yourself. Because all it is saying is that there is a line that I am not willing to cross. And that's okay. Everybody has that line. But that's not how it's coming out. And so empaths believe that they can feel other people. They don't believe in the universal principle of free will. It wasn't their choice to become an empath. Therefore, it is not other people's choices on whether or not they feel their emotions. And if you were to reverse that just slightly and realize that you chose to be an empath because there is free will, which also means that you are the chooser of the emotions that you feel. You are an empath. You can feel those things. You took your coal and you turned it into a diamond, but you didn't realize it. And because you didn't realize it, you haven't been walking around holding a diamond. You've been walking around acting like you're holding coal. Empaths separate themselves from the rest to be special and to be unique, when in reality, anyone can be an empath because everybody has coal. And the problem is that if empaths don't realize that they chose it, then they can't teach the next person who believes that they are an empath, who takes their coal. They can't teach them how to actually turn that into a diamond because they didn't realize how they did it the first time. All right? It is very important that if you are an empath, the first thing that will save you so much suffering is to understand that you chose it. You were not born an empath. Your parents did not pass it down to you. It was not something that magic gave you. You chose to be an empath because in your moment of suffering, you're still a good person and you wanted to use that to help other people. Not everybody has to go through an abusive relationship to understand what it's like to be in an abusive relationship. And that's because you went through it. All right? Empaths are very, very powerful people when they know how to use their skill. All right, Enlightenment. After many failed attempts of playing tag alone and exploring solo, but having no one to show their discoveries to, the children are now understanding that the children are now outside playing together before taking a break and exploring together. They figured out that it's much more of an experience when you share it with another. And basically what that is saying is it's saying that it doesn't matter what game you play. It doesn't matter what experience that you go through. It doesn't matter what discoveries that you find. It's not an experience without another person. It's just a really cool concept. And I understand that because as somebody who started discovering Nine Vibes, started writing it on my wall, started exploring music and science and everything, it was amazing to me. But it wasn't experience yet. It wasn't until I became a dog trainer. It wasn't until I met the girl that I am with now, the love of my life. It wasn't until I started following the nines that led me to a job, that led me to this, that led me to that everything started coming together as an experience. You're not supposed to walk it alone. All right. So enlightenment is the understanding of that. And more importantly, enlightenment is the understanding that who you are exactly right now, exactly where you are, is everything that you need to be in this moment. You are perfect in this moment, and everything that you need is in this present moment. It's the moment that you step outside of that things get, up or down or dark or light. But in this moment right here, you have everything that you need. This is the state of enlightenment. To understand that by yourself, you are everything, but you need another to become something. All right, unity. The children understand at the end of the day, they are family. They come from the same home, neighborhood, or town. So they show each other kindness and compassion no matter what game they play. This is unity. It doesn't matter what path someone else has. It doesn't matter what game that kid decides to play. The point is that you and me are the same. I am you and you are me, and we are both I am. And when you understand that, when you really get down to that core fundamental foundation, then all you have to do is just show kindness and compassion to those that you play with. That's it. That's unity. All right, there are 7.5 billion people in the world. You weren't meant to befriend them all. You were only meant to live as though you do. When somebody wants to play with you, when somebody comes into your bubble, when somebody is in an experience with you, it is up to you to treat them like a friend. They may not even be there very long. They may be there, I have a great friend who does a sermon that talks about friends are like leaves, they're like branches, and they're like roots. Roots stay with you forever. Branches stay with you as long as they can until they can't hold the weight. And leaves, they just fall off. But the point is you're still supposed to treat every single person as though they are your friend. That's what unity, that's what enlightenment, that's what it's all about. All right, so where does 9 Vibes fit into this? Well, I'm going to tell you. 9 Vibes, the freedom to choose any game, any path, any journey, because the truth is there is joy in all of them. It would not be considered a game if there wasn't. Every game has truth and joy held within it. The 9 Vibe kids know this. They use sacred geometry, numbers, and patterns to follow the flow of the playground. They understand that they did not create the playground, but that creation was built using laws. These are universal laws. Following these laws, and you can become the creator. So that's what 9 Vibes is about. 9 Vibes is not about drowning you in math. It's not about drowning you in science. It's about showing you the connection between the two. It's about showing you that spirituality and science and math align. And if these things can align, what else can align? If nature is in perfect alignment to where you look at 432 being the frequency and the natural tuning of instruments. 432 is also the amount of days that you would have if you lived a 36-day calendar. 432 is also the number that is the radius of the sun. And if you multiply that by 2, obviously by getting your diameter, you get 864,000, which is the diameter of the sun. There are also 86,400 seconds in your day. There are 1,440 minutes in your day. All of these things align with 9. And so the point is that if everything else aligns, if the space aligns, if stars aligns, if nature aligns, then as above, so below, so do you. You are meant to be aligned. You are not meant to live in this state of chaos. Right now, our current situation is based off of a system of people who think for themselves, who decide for themselves, who have no desire to align, who have no desire to connect. And if they do, they don't know how to actually get to that place. That is what the world looks like right now. And what I am trying to do is get people to see that there is an alignment that you can live on. It doesn't matter whether you're Wiccan. It doesn't matter whether you're Muslim. It doesn't matter whether you're Christian. It doesn't matter whether you're spiritual and you only focus on crystals. It does not matter what path that you are on. The point is that you use 9 to find the truth in all these paths, because there's truth in all, but not all is truth. And when you find these alignments externally, you find them internally. That's what my life is about. I started following the 9s. The 9s led me to a job. In fact, it was on a street that was 999. At a job that gave me a passcode that was a 9. They gave me a door code that was 13724, which was a 9. Don't worry, I don't work there, so you can't steal it. That led me to some of the most amazing situations in my life, that led me to meeting a woman I didn't even know that I wanted to be in a relationship with. I was very much a Nikola Tesla. I had no desire to be with anyone. I believed in the quote that said that by yourself, you basically keep all your energy, but you're not meant to do it alone. And she came into my life. And so I'm telling you that 9s isn't about changing the path that you're on. Believe in anything you want. Just use 9 to guide through that path. Use it as a light on whatever journey you are. All right. If you knew the significance of 3, 6, and 9, you would have the keys to the universe. This is a quote from Tesla. And those of you that have been on my page, you understand this. 3, 6, and 9, the keys to the universe is almost child's play. This expands beyond that. 3, 6, and 9 is tied into everything. And if you want to understand the universe, think of energy, vibration, and frequency. Once you understand 3, 6, and 9, the next step is to understand energy, vibration, and frequency, to apply energy, vibration, and frequency to those numbers, and you will see creation. You will see experience. You will see the reason that you are here. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, you can send me a message. You can send me a private message, or you can join facebook.com/groups/universal9vibes. That is where a lot of information is. That is where I post everything. I hope you enjoyed this. Keep your 9 vibes alive. Later.